Welcome to this video, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be giving my reaction to the second trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, the official trailer. And yeah, there's a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this movie right here. Now, this movie has obviously just been in one of the weirdest marketing situations ever when it comes to sort of promoting the movie. Just because obviously this is a movie taking place after Avengers Endgame. And obviously with your trailers, especially that first trailer, you got to be really careful with what you showed and not give away any spoilers. But now that we're in a sort of post-Endgame world, everyone's seen the movie. In 2 weeks, it's made over 600 million worldwide. Yeah, now they figure, okay, we can show like the next. This is a good time to release that second trailer if your movie's going to be coming out in a few months. Now's the time you really got to start promoting it. And at this point, if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, clearly you didn't really want to see it all that much, or you weren't all that. You're not the type of person that's going to be affected by spoilers. I'll put it that way. So yeah, now we're in an Endgame spoiler zone right now. Marvel's lifted that spoiler ban, and for this trailer, it's going to be interesting what they show. Just because, like I said, the interesting dynamic with this is just that sort of post-Endgame world. Just like you know, the fact that it's 5 years into the future, 2023. Half the population is 5 years older than the other, and that's really going to be interesting given that this is a movie that takes place in high school. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to in this trailer. Will we get any mention of Tony Stark, Peter's mentor, now that he's not around anymore? And that's not even getting into the whole, like, Mysterio, the new villains we're going to see, Molten Man, Hydra Man, all that stuff. So much good stuff. So, enough rambling. Let's go ahead and watch this trailer. This is going to be a really interesting watch right here. All right, watching the trailer in 3, 2, 1, now. Click.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play,
Oh,
but if you
God.
haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up. But if you have seen
Wow.
Avengers Endgame, enjoy the trailer.
I guess we are going to get some spoilers.
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Wow.
Just really listen.
Yeah, I miss him too.
Wow, right off the bat.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
Spoilers right off the bat. Oh, I love that
You
suit.
gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your job. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work because I am going on vacation.
Wow. There's the spoilers right off the bat.
Nick Fury's calling me.
I don't really want to talk to Nick
Answer
Fury.
the phone.
Why?
Because if you don't talk to him, then I have to talk. I don't want to talk to him. You sent Nick Fury to voicemail?
I gotta go.
You do not ghost Nick Fury.
Edwards, what's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me. Or else we would not first fell in love.
you're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could use someone like you in my world.
Mysterio, looking good.
Just not ours. Snap to our hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do.
Uh-oh.
You're coming with us.
There's gotta be someone else you can use. What about Thor?
Off-world.
Captain Marvel. Unavailable. Who's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Bitch, please. You've been to space.
You won't, Peter. I want to go back on my trip with the girl who I really like and tell her how I feel. MJ, I
I'm Spider-Man.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You're right, you may not be ready, but this is my responsibility. Saving the world requires sacrifice. Sometimes people die.
Oh my God.
I just always feel like I'm putting my friends in danger. The world needs the
Damn,
next
it's a
Iron Man.
big movie.
You're going to step up or not?
Wow. It looks big.
Get you guys out of here! Get on the jet! Who are you? I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man? I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
Wow. All right, there's a whole lot to talk about with that right there. Okay, amazingly, right off the bat, they're telling you, yo, man, we got spoilers for Endgame coming up, so if y'all ain't ready, that's your fault. And obviously, as we see right off the bat, I was wondering, they're going to mention Tony Stark, Iron Man, and yep, right off the bat, showing that a sort of a mural of him just living in that post Iron Man world, and it's all like, so if this trailer pops up in the theater and someone hasn't seen Endgame, you kind of fucked. But like I said, if you haven't seen it at this point, that's kind of your fault. But yeah, just I guess a good thing showing, like, obviously a whole lot of references to Endgame. I don't know how soon this is going to take place after Endgame, but living in this post-snap world is going to be a really interesting situation. And now we're getting more of the reason why Nick Fury is going to Spider-Man, just because I guess maybe he's the only hero he can go to right now, because Captain America is out of commission now. Now Captain Marvel is off-world, and Thor is off-world, so I guess he's got to go to Spider-Man. So it's cool, and it's good getting to see Nick Fury and Hill again, just because they really haven't had much of a role to play in the MCU since Age of Ultron. Obviously, we saw Fury in Captain Marvel, but that was his past self. Now, that was him in the 90s. Now we're getting the present-day Nick Fury, and it's good to see him again, back in action, him and Hill. Then the whole Mysterio thing, obviously, is very different from how Mysterio, his story, when he's introduced in the comics, he's got sort of a weird kind of 60s backstory. In this one, they're not really showing his villain element at all. They're just showing him as like a legit hero going on, fighting with Spider-Man. I'm guessing he's going to turn on Spider-Man at some point. But what they're showing right now, he's trying to save the day, helping Peter, giving him pep talk. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic to see what exactly they do with Mysterio in this movie. They mentioned an interesting dynamic when it comes to the snap. Created sort of a multiverse going on, and as soon as you hear that, you go like, oh man, we're going to get sort of a Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse kind of situation. Obviously not with a whole bunch of Spider-Man, but if that's sort of a plot point going on, that'll play an interesting role in not only this movie, but the MCU going forward. But you heard me comment on, one more thing before I get into the last main point, is the fact Michelle, we saw that she tells Peter, I know that you're Spider-Man. They hinted about that at the end of Homecoming, where she asked Peter where he's going, and she kind of jokes like, I don't care. But she had that look that she knows that he's Spider-Man. So it's going to be interesting, the relationship between those two going forward in this movie. But then the thing that I mentioned while I was watching the trailer, this movie looks huge when it comes to the effects going on. When you got the Molten Man doing his thing, Hydro Man, and then that rock kind of guy. It looks like Sandman from Spider-Man 3 to me, but they haven't confirmed who that is or not, so who knows who that is exactly. But the effects that they got going on in this movie is just insane. It looks like the biggest Spider-Man when it comes to effects and the spectacle, all that stuff. So it'll definitely be a fun movie to watch in a 3D or IMAX, that kind of stuff. So you're definitely going to get your money's worth when it comes to this movie. It makes Homecoming look kind of small when you look at all the stuff they got going on in this movie. And the whole thing about taking place away from New York, finally, that'll be a great thing to see in a Spider-Man movie. I think that covers just about everything in this trailer. It was a very interesting watch. I'm glad that they gave people that spoiler warning for Endgame. But with this trailer, I think we all now live in a post-Endgame world. So spoilers are sort of free game for Endgame now. You don't have to put like spoilers for Endgame when it comes to your videos, because if you haven't seen it at this point, you're kind of fucked already. But yeah, that was a really cool trailer. I will say one last point before I start rambling. Initially, I thought this movie was coming out too soon after Endgame, and maybe it still is, just because I feel like Endgame was just kind of like that perfect closed chapter. And obviously, honestly, when I first came out of Endgame, I'm like, you know what? If there were no more MCU movies after this, I would be okay. But you look at how cool this trailer is, and it's all like, nah, the MCU still has more to offer, even though we did lose a lot of heroes in Endgame, and it was sort of that, it was the closing arc of the Infinity Saga, but we still got more stuff to come forward in the MCU, so definitely looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home. So that's it for this reaction. I hope y'all enjoyed, and thank you for watching.